If you question me, you question God. And if you question God, you get punched in the chest.
And we were outside one day, youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious. Bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God?
Yeah.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, y'all aren't going to be happy with this one today. I'm not going to be happy with this one. We're talking about religion. But first, roll the intro. Hello everybody, welcome back to Clarkson, the YouTube channel where I react to videos online because I can never shut the hell up and the internet craziness never stops. Now, today we're talking about religion, and this is a topic that I don't talk too much about. I don't know why, because I feel very passionately about it, so we're going to start talking about it. Before I go into this video, I want to say this. I am not anti-religion. In fact, I go to bat for a lot of religious ideas because I think a lot of what religion teaches has a net positive impact on society. However, we are starting to see the pendulum swing a little bit too far to the right. We're getting trembles of it. And these religious activists are starting to show their cards, and they are showing that they're power hungry.
The display of the 10 Commandments in every classroom in public, elementary, secondary, and post-education schools in the state of Louisiana.
Wow, I felt like I was at church, but no, that was the government. Amen. Let's be dead ass here. That has no place in a government building. So this video prompted me to make an entire video about how I feel about religion. Now, it is a part of human nature to want to share your ideas with other people and share your beliefs with other people in hopes that they adopt them. That's why I make videos talking about my opinions and my beliefs on various subjects, because I hope that I find people who agree with me, or I can inspire people to, adopt some beliefs that they believe to be true. That's a part of human nature, regardless of whether or not you're spreading religious beliefs or just intellectual beliefs. But the problem with religion is that it capitalizes on that part of our nature to want to share our ideas with other people by giving their followers a template to what is right and wrong without question. It blurs the lines between objectivity and subjectivity, which opens the door for power-hungry religious people to commit atrocities without question from their peers. Example, going to jail because you are gay, or even getting because you're gay in some countries, that goes without question. We all know, logically speaking, that makes no sense. Being gay is something that you see in various different species. It happens in nature. Yet, these countries will prosecute people for being gay, and their peers allow them to do it and agree with them without question because religion says so. Religion says it's bad, therefore we are going to turn this into law. So that's where my problem lies with a lot of religion, is that it escapes the need for logical questioning, for logical reasoning when coming to a conclusion, because if the book says it, it must be true. That's not to say there aren't a lot of things in religion that follow logical reasoning. There's a ton of things in religion. Thou shalt not kill, for example, is pretty basic. So it's not to say that everything in religion is false and illogical, but some things are, and religion doesn't really allow you to question them, or it gives people a reason not to question them. Simply put, it tells people that a book has all the right answers, and that allows them to avoid actually finding the right answers themselves. It gives people a false sense of objective morality without having to prove any of their points or any of their morality with facts and logic behind it. For example, let's take a look at this clip here.
They want to talk about how we have to accept them for who they are. Why don't they accept us for who we are? We as Muslims, we say we disagree with their views. Why do we have to accept their values?
All of a sudden, see, like what you're saying, why when we disagree, like, why do I have to sacrifice my rights for your feelings? Like, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to say, like, okay, so you're right, I should support you, I should agree with you, I should do everything that you do just because you think it's right, not because I objectively know what's right.
Okay, first of all,
enough podcasting.
Letting gay people live freely, that doesn't impede on your rights, buddy. So you disagree. Nobody's saying you can't disagree with someone who's gay. In fact, a lot of the West is a prime example of this. There are people in the West who live here who disagree with, who think that being gay is a choice and disagree with it. That's fine. That doesn't affect me. The problem is that religion is the driving force of taking away people's rights, especially gay people. So no, gay people aren't asking you to change your view. We're asking you not to use the power of government to enforce your view onto me and to enforce behaviors that you don't agree with. It's interesting to see in this clip how this man tries to frame himself as the religious person, as a victim of his rights being taken away. But It looks like the only right he thinks he deserves to have is to force everybody else to agree with him. He's actually making an argument against his own stance by flipping it on to gay people. But the most interesting thing about this is not him victimizing himself, claiming that his rights are going to get taken away.
God forbid the gays get married. You're taking away my rights.
The interesting thing about this clip is that he says,
Not because I objectively know what's right.
he objectively knows what's right. But the thing is he doesn't objectively know what's right because religion is subjective. That's why we have different religions with different belief systems. So when I say that people have this idea that they have an objective sense of morality, so then they get moral superiority from it, which is explained in this clip, the proof is in the pudding. This man thinks he has all the right answers because his religion tells him these are the right answers. For some people, religion is a way to escape logical reasoning in determining what is right and wrong, and a way to just comfortably relax into whatever the religion tells you to do. It's very comfortable to think that your beliefs are objective fact, when in actuality, your morality comes from consensus.
Homosexuality is prohibited in Islam. It's wrong. Yes, I believe you're going to go to the hellfire if you don't believe in Allah. Yes, I believe that there's heaven. Yes, I believe in the day of judgment. These are things I believe in. Tell me why that's wrong. What creedal disproving implications does that have? As a philosopher, where is your objective morality? Where is your objective reasoning? Where are the arguments?
So this is another prime example of a religious person thinking that their beliefs are objective reality. So let's just go ahead and define a few terms and disprove this very quickly. The definition of objective is of a person or their judgment not influenced by personal feelings or opinions and considering and representing facts. Okay? So that's the definition of objective. The definition of morality is principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. So this man thinks that his view on what is right and wrong is objective. He's claiming that anyone who disagrees with him needs to prove why he is wrong using objectivity. This is textbook manipulation. So he claims that his beliefs need to be disproven, but they haven't even been proven objective in the first place. That is how you manipulate someone. When you come from a place of objective moral superiority and you tell them, well, you need to prove me wrong, you are automatically putting the person you're arguing with in a losing position because they can't argue against something that you believe to be objective. They don't need to disprove what you're saying because you didn't prove it in the first place. Or you can see in this first clip where this man is convinced that his ideas come from God, so it warrants him taking action in the name of God.
And we were outside one day, youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I walked over to him, and I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I led that man to the Lord right there. There's times that might be needed.
I led that man to the Lord right there. Yeah. I decked him in the face, and he found the Lord after I just punched the shit out of him. Do you know why he found the Lord? Because he's scared to not find the Lord. Let me not go on a rant. But clearly that man is like proud that he hit someone. If you've ever been in a fight, especially as a child, you grow out of this as you get more mature, but some people don't, clearly. You are very proud when you like stick up for yourself and when you win a fight. That's how it kind of works. Okay. So then you want to tell people. It's clear that this man is just proud of the fact that he punched a kid. So he wanted to share it with his congregation. Now, funny enough, doesn't seem like his congregation finds any issue with that because they don't question him because it's in the name of God. So punch a kid. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be religious. I believe everybody should examine each set of ideas from different religions and belief systems and choose what works for you and what you believe to be factually true and makes logical sense. However, what I am saying is that religion itself is not objective fact, and what religion tells you is not objective fact. It still needs to be proven with logical reasoning. And I'm tired of seeing people, intellectually lazy people, use religion as an excuse to not defend their arguments. Just because your religion says it doesn't make it true. Let's take a look at this clip, for example.
If they're religious and they believe homosexuality is a sin, that's not bigoted.
Wait, yes, yes, it is. That is.
Religion is bigoted? Religious people are bigoted?
No. Religious beliefs that homosexuality is a sin is absolutely bigoted.
We'll show the definition of bigoted, so let's make this clear. The definition of bigoted is obstinately or unreasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction. In particular, prejudiced against or antagonistic toward a person or people on the basis of their membership of a particular group. So, keyword unreasonably in this definition. So it is by definition bigoted to hold specific beliefs about someone just because they have an immutable characteristic or belong to a specific group. If you believe that being gay is wrong, that to me is unreasonable because it's not something that can be chosen. So yes, that belief in and of itself is bigoted. Now, you can believe what you want. It doesn't affect me if you believe that.
Yes, I believe you're going to go to the hellfire if you don't believe in Allah.
However, by definition and factually speaking, it is a bigoted belief. Just because your religion says it doesn't mean it escapes the definitions of words. It's still bigoted. The problem, though, is that religious people do not keep their religious beliefs to themselves. In fact, a lot of religious texts inform their followers to go and spread the gospel or spread the word. This was written in religious text because religious scholars understand that morality is shaped by consensus. So the more people that you get involved in your group, the more people that take on that belief system, the more it becomes true and the more it becomes accurate and the more it is just adopted widespread. The more people you convert, the more valid your beliefs are. Now that alone is fine. There's nothing wrong with that if you allow people choice in whether or not they convert to your belief system. But a lot of times this goes from choice to forced adoption of their belief system through the use of power. You see this more prominently in theocratic governments across the pond, but we're not immune to it here. We're not immune to it anywhere because religious people are involved in every form of government. Now, most religious people will put their beliefs over everything. They do not separate their religious beliefs from law. Some do, but a lot of them don't. And this is why people refrain from voting for conservatives, because the most religious people tend to be conservative and they're afraid of electing these people into office because they know that their religion will trump the law that's in front of them. They don't necessarily care as much about making sure they're following the law to a T. They care more about making sure they're following their religion's law. So these are my issues with religion. I think it gets things wrong and it gets things right. But I also understand that religion, and every religion, was written by humans, and humans are inherently flawed. Now, I am agnostic. I do believe in God, and I do believe in God being able to speak through people. But I also understand that when God was speaking through these prophets, in order for them to decipher what he was saying, it had to go through their own human lens. And if human beings are inherently flawed, that means that the text that comes out that God is speaking to them will also come out flawed in some cases. And it's our job as people to try to understand where those flaws are in their interpretation of what God was saying. That's also why you see common themes amongst different religions. Because if God is talking to all of these different prophets and trying to get what his word is out, you're going to see different interpretations of what he's saying. To me, religion is a language in which you can speak the word of God, but there's different languages all across the world, okay? And there's different ways people speak it. There's different words that are used. And to me, that's religion. There isn't one religion that's specifically right about everything. All of them do have positives and negatives. I am not against religion. I need to make that abundantly clear. Religion has also done a lot for communities. Who, by and large, do you think donates to nonprofits and feeds the poor and volunteers their time? Newsflash, it's not agnostic people or atheists, it's religious people. So all in all, I do believe religion has a very important purpose in facilitating a functioning society that works towards a common goal. But just like I believe the government serves an important purpose, I think there needs to be checks and balances on it. And religion is something that on an individual level, I think each one of us has to put checks and balances on. We should never be putting blind faith in anything because it opens the door for corruption and manipulation. So yeah, that's my opinion on religion, and that's how I feel about the current state of religion, especially in America and its role in government a little bit. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and you turn on my post notifications. We'll be posting almost every week. I'll see you guys next week.